Welcome back, everybody, to the Clashing Conferences Network. This is the members podcast. It is the last episode of the football version of the podcast, but with football winding down and basketball very much on the horizon for us, I think we're going to talk about a little bit of both here tonight. Before we get into it, I just want to fill out a couple quick plugs here. Please check out the clashingconferences.com. You can very easily get on there and fill out a form, talk to our producer, we get a little bit back and forth, get to know about you, find a show for you. It is very simple to do. Proof tonight, we got a new member, Karan, with us. He is a Knicks fan. He is a Giants fan. I know Chris is very happy to have another Giants fan on the network with us, and also a Mets fan. And I and a number of the other Mets fans that are part of the network are excited to have more people on the Grimace train. So please check out the clashingconferences.com. Looking to becoming a member. We got member benefits like haircut discounts at Sparo Hair Studios. And I hear we got a new sponsor coming up. Details to come soon. I've seen a little sneak peek, and it is something to be a little excited about. So looking forward to picking up some new sponsors, some new members, and we're doing this thing. Karan, this is your first night with us on the network and actually on a show here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you became a, a, a all around New York fan.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys having me on. I actually met up with Chris a couple of weeks ago. We were at a Knick game, hanging out before the game, just at a bar, talking Knicks. He liked the jacket I was wearing. I was wearing an old school, like Mitchell and Ness with a lot of different patches and stuff. And then we kind of just took off from there. Talked about a lot of the old school teams. Told him I've been a Knick fan since I was like 5 years old. So I'm 39 now. So talking like sometime around 91, 92. Really, got into basketball, fell in love with the team. Ewing, Starks, Mason. Those are
I'll
those are
say
my
those were
favorite
some
guys.
good Knicks years.
That was an easy team to root for. It was fun. It was a lot of fun watching them every night. Obviously going up against Michael and the Pacers, the Heat, like all throughout the '90s. So really just took off with that. Still waiting for that elusive championship in my lifetime, but good things hopefully are not too far away. But yeah, along with that, just a lot of other New York sports. I just really got into watching, football. Giants was like the first game I went to, so I latched onto them prior to the Jets. Same thing with the Mets. My first game was at Shea Stadium, probably like 1995, 1996.
Okay.
When the team wasn't even that great. I remember they still had Bobby Bonilla on the team, and we're still paying that contract. So 35 years later, we're still paying
I
that
gotta
contract.
ask you,
So
because I get hell every year on July 4th. Do your friends give you a hard time about that?
is it July 1st or July 4th?
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I know it's right around the holiday. I
It's
got
not
my phone
hell.
is
It's just
blowing
one of
up.
those annual, like when your alarm goes off on your phone and it's like, oh, it's July 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day. You get that congratulatory Happy Bonilla Day, guys. And
Yep,
then it's like,
yep.
yeah, it's that time of the year. So that, not hell, but it's like a running joke. It must be that time of the year. So, but no, with the Mets, Piazza was my favorite player growing up. Loved when the Mets got him. Went to his Hall of Fame induction in 2016.
Awesome.
And I haven't had a chance to meet him yet. I've come close. So like I said, I was at the Hall of Fame induction, and I was just recently at that amazing day a couple of weeks ago at Citi Field, which was a lot of fun. A little chaotic, but it was a lot of fun. He was there along with tons of other players and alumni, so it was cool to see a lot of the past players and current players and stuff like that for the Mets. So I'm a sports junkie when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I enjoy that behind the scenes stuff. Was able to tour the Mets locker room, see the New Jersey coming out, check out the inner workings of the stadium, things like that. So um, yeah, I mean that's really it. I think I bring a lot of knowledge to the table when it comes to useless sports trivia, is from what I've been told with my friends and things like that. So I'm looking forward to just joining with you guys and talking hoops and talking whatever is the hot topic of the week or topic of the month.
Well, we're looking forward to having you. So I think the first hot topic here we just got 2 days ago after before this recording was the Super Bowl and the Eagles, I think unexpectedly to most people that aren't Eagles fans, whooped the Chiefs' butt. What do you
Yeah.
guys think about the game?
Um, So listen, I'm a Giants fan. You know, obviously, I said I was not rooting for either team. Nothing against Chiefs. I wasn't sick of Kansas City going back and back. It's. I do appreciate the greatness for a team to try to go back to back to back, which has never been done before. So I do appreciate the greatness of that, of being able to witness that. There's only a certain number of players that you get to see in your lifetime that can achieve something like that. So I mean, obviously, I watched Jordan growing up. LeBron's doing his thing right now in year 22, 23. So as frustrating as it is that he's probably a reason why the Knicks don't have a ring, you still got to appreciate the fact that he's doing this at age 40. And then same for like a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady, you know, did what he did, and we watched him growing up winning 7 rings. And now Mahomes is 29 years old and had a chance to win his fourth ring in 5 years or 6 years, something like
Yeah.
that. So I can always appreciate somebody that really does it the right way, I think. And I understand people having that Kansas City fatigue, but I wasn't rooting for, was that towards me?
Yeah, he's doing it the right way. I don't know about that, but
Oh, with the bias calls. I kind of get, I got it. Um, but I wasn't rooting for the Eagles. I don't have it in my blood to do that. Um, so I was rooting to honestly hit a couple of boxes and win some money and hopefully,
Yeah.
you know, that was really it, which I didn't get to do that either. So it was an awful game. And I mean, the Giants or their fans must have done something to piss somebody off because they had the worst 100th season in the franchise's history. And they were commemorating a milestone season for the team, and everything that possibly could have gone wrong for that team this year went wrong. To commemorate, to cap it off with Saquon and the Eagles winning a ring.
I will say they did shut down Saquon though pretty well.
They weren't getting there without him, so
No, no.
um, but like just listening to sports radio here in New York, I mean, if you just add in all the things from day one, I mean, obviously, if you guys watch Hard Knocks, you saw the way they handled the Saquon Barkley situation. I mean, that's going to be a viral clip
Hey
for the
man,
next
Shine said it
15
couldn't be
years.
done. You can't pay a quarterback that much and also pay Saquon. The Eagles went and
So
did it.
the Giants basically said, "We don't want you," and I don't think Jane ever wanted him because when it comes down to that much money being promised from one team to another, and the Giants couldn't match it for what reason, I don't know. I'll never know. But the fact that I can't get mad at him for going, am I mad that he went to the Eagles? Yes, because he's going to the Eagles. But I can't get mad at him for going to the Eagles
Yeah.
because the
Yep.
Giants didn't want him. So
Yep.
that was point number one. Number two, the team went 3-14 in this so-called second year with Daniel Jones, the magic, you know, the quarterback and the coach and everything. They went 1-7 at home. Michael Strahan's waving an eagle flag before the Super Bowl starts 2 days ago with Saquon Barkley doing an interview.
I missed that
Or
one.
they wore a softball uniform in week one. I'm sorry, I don't know if anyone liked that jersey, the beige brown and the
The
red
red,
and
yeah,
the
that was
white.
awful.
They
We
wore
we
that in
had a
week one
long
when they got,
discussion
yeah.
about that one, and Chris tried to support it for a little bit.
Eli Manning doesn't get elected into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. So everything, and
That's
then to top it off,
ridiculous.
Saquon gets 2,000 yards, sets the record for most yards by a player in a season, and he wins the Super Bowl. So it's like everything just culminated into the worst 100th year anniversary that a team could possibly ask for. So that's where I am with the foot. That puts a bow on the football season for me.
Cody, what'd you think about the final game there?
Well, I was kind of the same thing. I just wanted to win some money, which I did not because Saquon didn't have hardly any yards, what, like 50 something maybe or something like that, like rushing yards. Halftime show, I wasn't impressed. I'm going to be that guy. It was cool to see the Chiefs just get spanked like a newborn child. I did like that. I loved that. We'll see what happens next year. Maybe it'll be a little bit more entertaining, as in Super Bowl halftime. It's what I usually tune in for, that in the commercials. And if there's nothing Kentucky related, usually there is at least one NIL Kentucky commercial. So I tune in to see that.
Well, I did win a little bit of money. I don't know if it was this show or the NFC East show, but I plugged my picks and I did pretty good. I said the Eagles were going to win by 10 plus, and at the same time, Saquon was going to go under his rushing yards, which is generally not a good combination, but I hit both of
Not too bad.
those and I hit a very good third quarter block. Karan was talking about blocks and that not getting KC not getting their 2 point conversion there at the end of the third quarter. That was my moment of the game where I was jumping up and down the most. A very seemingly meaningless moment as they're trying to get 2 points and catch up, but it meant a lot to me. So that was that was my moment of the Super Bowl when I was like, "You got to do this."
I've never seen him play that bad. Like when that first offensive pass interference came on, I was like, here we go. It's going to be a regular game. Chiefs are going to cheat all their way to the end, and then the
They didn't get
Eagles.
another call the rest of the day after
No,
Yeah,
that.
yep.
They didn't get another flag the rest of the game.
The
So
Eagles were dominant up front on both sides of the ball. I mean, on defense, they were only rushing four. They didn't blitz at all game. Still got 6 sacks. They were getting to Mahomes all night long. And the Chiefs' offensive line is, respectable. It's not like they have a terrible offensive line. I was surprised at how easily the Eagles' front four was getting in there and just wrecking shop.
that was some of the best defense I think I've ever seen. Like that was just really good defense. It was exciting
that
to
was
watch
that
that
was the
defense.
Giants getting to Tom Brady.
Oh no,
Oh,
sorry,
Cody. Uh-oh.
Butler's
People that
down.
I think
Butler's
most people
down.
know, most people know on the podcast, Cody is a huge Kentucky fan. He's very frequently watching Kentucky games, and they got some major. I heard from one of my big gambling friends tonight that Kentucky had some pretty big players already out, Cody, and now you got another
Yeah,
star hurt.
yeah, he's holding his shoulder on the ground right now. Now he's walking back to the bench. But we had Robinson out, and obviously Carisa's out. But if Butler goes out, that's going to hurt us. And it's a 2 point game with 8 minutes to go. So
I feel like it's going to be a good one.
I'm sweating. I think there is
We're
drops coming from my
We're
armpits.
only 3 weeks away from March. I think we said we're going to try to segue and lean into a little bit of basketball here. We know Cody is pretty much all Kentucky. I think we said if he had to root for an NBA team, was it going to be the Bulls?
If they
Do I
had a
remember
Kentucky,
that
do they
right?
have a Kentucky? Yeah, do they have a Kentucky player?
That's your area of expertise, sir.
I
I
don't
thought he was
think
going
they
to ask
do.
if they had a Kentucky team.
Yeah, I don't think they have a Kentucky player. I like
Karam, we
Grizzly.
know you're Knicks. Do you have a college team?
I no, honestly, I don't. But I've been to the Big East tournament a few times, which has been a lot of fun. And obviously, there's a lot of Villanova guys on the Knicks, so I know they have a soft spot for Villanova. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I'm paying attention to them now because they're 21-3. But I guess St. John's would be my number one, just because they are local. They're just a local flavor. They play at MSG. There's a
Nice.
lot of buzz around them right now, obviously with Patino and the fact that they're number one in the Big East, and the tournament's coming up in a few weeks, so I'm sure the Garden's going to be a really hot place to be. So yeah, that would be the team. I mean, I have actually watched the last couple of games. I think against Marquette and UConn. So I
That
think they're playing
UConn
UConn
game was
again.
that was an
Yeah,
awesome
I'm a
game.
it was fun. It was
UConn fan.
fun.
I'm a
Yeah,
UConn fan, so that was a tough loss for me to St. John's last weekend.
you guys are back to back, right? UConn is back to back. Yeah, they got a
That'd
feisty
be,
coach, man. That guy Hurley's a
Yeah,
feisty
yeah,
guy.
that's an understatement. That's awesome that you've been to some Big East
I do.
tournaments. That is
Yeah.
always a electric place in the Garden for that
hmm
tournament.
is
Yeah.
that it?
No, it's fun. It's a
MSG?
fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
every
is.
year
The
for
4 day
for a long
tournament
time.
at MSG. It's like it's just obviously the Big East teams. I mean, St. John's, I would think, even if they don't win the Big East tournament, would punch a ticket to the tournament this year. So
Have to. Have to.
yeah.
I mean, it was insane the stats that I saw. They were, putting it up. Rick Pitino year one, and any place he went, and then year two, I mean, it was like a complete turnaround. The dude is a coaching
He's an
genius.
unbelievable head coach. Yeah,
Yes,
so
I
far. I
agree.
mean, from what I've known, except for the NBA. So,
Yeah, yeah. And
college
I think
coach.
I think that's like a kind of a thing, like either you're good at coaching NBA and you suck at college, or you're good at college and you know what I mean? Like I don't think
Yeah,
you
I
can do
mean,
both.
it's tough.
I'm
I
sure
mean, it's rare that you see somebody do both.
yeah, I do. Except what's his name from the Celtics? Who's what's that guy?
Brad Miller, not the guy from
Yes.
Butler, right?
Yeah, I
Brad
think you
Stevens.
were. Yeah, Brad
Brad
Stevens,
Stevens.
good
Yeah,
call.
That's it.
yeah.
I mean, he's done pretty well, I guess. You know,
Well, now, yeah, now he's their executive. He had some runs as their coach, but he never took them to the promised land. And then I
no,
think as an executive now they're pretty loaded. So
I was pretty excited that the Lakers didn't lure Dan Hurley away from UConn this summer.
well,
They
we
they
tried.
yeah, I
offered
mean,
they offered him a bag, and he ended up turning it down to
I
come
don't
back to
know. I just
UConn.
don't think his style would fit in the NBA. I
I
mean, I
don't
think he could.
either.
I think he could do that with college kids and influence them
Yeah,
like that. I don't think he's getting LeBron James and Luka Doncic
nah.
to do what he
These
wants to do, yelling and screaming and
multimillionaires are
throwing
gonna
tantrums
laugh at
like
him.
that.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I actually think Reddick was a good hire. I know it was LeBron's
I do
buddy and
too.
stuff, but I think he's going to be a good because he's a player. You know, obviously he was a player yesterday, so
Hmm.
he knows what's in the locker room. He knows he knows what the attitude is. He knows how to talk to the guys. He can relate to them more than like a coach or a regular, like an experienced, a veteran coach could. So I think it was a good hire. I think he's going to be a good head coach, especially now. I mean, it looks like the Lakers are going to be set for a few years.
What a wild trade deadline though in the NBA.
And what
Listen,
I
there's
guess,
something fishy about that trade. I can't put my finger on it, but it's weird. You make one phone call to one team. If the guy was available, they could have gotten a lot more than just Anthony Davis and a first round
yep,
pick. But I
I was
mean, you
making that
telling me,
argument on a podcast last week. You got for a player that good, you got to go open market
yeah,
if
because
if
it's
the
going to be
Brooklyn Nets knew
bids
that he
and
was
bids and
available,
bids. Yep,
if Brooklyn knew he was available, they would have given him 7, 8 picks plus
yep.
players. I mean, they would Luca in New York would have been insane. But
yep,
I'm just like I don't understand where you get one team, no one knows about it, no one reported it. Some of these insiders that you follow that no idea. Something fishy about it, but I guess we'll
and
never know.
what Jason Kidd didn't even know about it, right? The head
No,
coach didn't even know about it.
so they say. I mean,
Yeah,
LeBron didn't know about it.
So they say.
yeah,
I
LeBron put the trade in.
have a hard time believing that LeBron didn't know about it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the toughest one for me to believe.
I agree. And then what is it with the whole what's the guy they backed out of the trade the other day with
My guy, Mark Williams out of the Hornets,
yeah,
said he
heard that.
failed his
I,
physical, and now the
I'll be honest
Hornets
with
are
you, Mike.
trying to dispute that.
Yep.
I have not heard. Is he supposed to be like a big time center? Because I didn't really know. They
I
made
didn't
it
know
He
out to
about
be
him.
like this major trade, and I'm like, he's played 85 games in 3 years.
Yeah,
So
he was a one and done out of Duke, so he was, the kind of prospect that, didn't even get a lot of playing time in college. He has been awesome for the Hornets when he plays, but like you said, he doesn't play very much. So, I mean, it seemed like a good deal for the Lakers when they were getting him. He had been back. He'd played, I don't know, 10 or 20 games in a row here and was playing very well, averaging, probably 15 and 10, maybe even a little more than that on the points. And, I don't know. He went out there. Lakers said he failed the physical, and not even for the reason why he had been missing games this year. He'd been missing games for a sore back, and the Lakers are saying that that's not even why they failed him on the physical. So now the Hornets are disputing that. So now nobody in this trade has even played unless it happened tonight for their teams yet, because nobody really knows what's going on or what to do with the whole thing at this point.
I feel
yeah,
like
I mean, I saw both. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
oh, no, I was just I felt like my pride would be hurt if I was Connect or any of them. Like your team
A
didn't
little
I
want
was
bit,
like
I was
your
yeah,
team
like,
didn't
a
want you.
little
how'd
Now
you
you got to
bit.
walk
go
into that
back.
locker room like, oh, we're back? I mean, the Hornets put out a statement on like Twitter or something. Oh, we're thrilled to have Mark back. Well, you just traded him like
Yeah.
5 minutes ago. I mean, how does he come back to that locker room?
It's
And I
like
mean,
breaking up
Dalton
with the
Connect
ex.
too. I mean, we're thrilled to have him back. We're so glad he's back with our team. But I mean, like, all right, I guess you got to put out some kind of PR statement.
Yeah, it ain't like he left. You made him leave. So why are you happy that he's back? It's like, I can't believe I broke up with her, but I'm happy that she came back this time. I took her back again, and I think it'll be a good relationship. What?
Hey man,
But
I've been there
no,
once or
listen, it's
twice in my
the
life.
All-Star break is
Yeah,
here.
we all
You know,
have, I guess, but you wouldn't expect it from an NBA team. Maybe. Uh, it is 2025, I guess, so whatever. We're down a point. Jeez Louise, puppet face.
Knicks are at halftime for anyone that's interested.
What's the score?
Me?
63-55.
Oh,
All right. I think I need 20 points out of Brunson, and I think I need 15 and 9 out of Cat, if I
They're
remember
both playing.
correctly.
I thought they might try to sit him today, tomorrow, and then there's the All-Star break. So, you get a couple of days off. But
When is the All-Star game this coming weekend? It's Sunday, right?
yeah, I mean the Saturday night is the dunk and the 3-point shootout and all that stuff.
I'm
Friday
looking
night, I think,
forward to
is
that.
the
I love both the 3-point and the dunk contest anymore.
is any high names like high star power names in the dunk contest? I haven't
No,
even
you
seen.
got Mac McClung.
that's
Is
it.
that his first
Yeah.
name? Is it Mac?
Yeah,
Am I getting that right?
yeah,
Yep.
and
No, the dunk contest is usually the 15th guy on a roster. Usually.
That's terrible anymore, but
that
you still
sucks.
get a good one every couple years. You still get a good one every once in a while. When it is good, it is worth watching.
Is is any big name starting at 3-point? I haven't even seen that either.
I know Damian Lillard because I think he won last year. I know Jalen Brunson's in it. I don't know some of the others. I don't know
They
if there's any
usually get
home
a
flavor.
little bit more star power in the 3-point contest
Yeah,
anymore than the dunk. And I think there's a new
Let's see.
format to the actual game this year. Aren't there like 3 teams or something weird going on?
I saw that.
Anybody
Yeah,
Yes,
know?
there is. I don't know the specific format of it either. It's kind of confusing, but there
Yeah.
was like a rookie team because they play Friday night, the rookies and sophomores. So I think the winner of that game plays with like the West All Stars and there's three different
Oh,
teams.
you're
So
right. So there's 4 teams then, including the rookie
like
team,
I think
maybe.
there's a World All Star if I'm not mistaken,
you're
Can't
right.
keep
And
track.
international players.
it might make it a little bit more interesting than instead of taking 3 dribbles and somebody shooting three every possession in the All Star game.
Yeah, it ain't been about competition for a very long
No,
time in the
No.
NBA All-Star game. It's more of a talent show.
And same with the NFL too. I mean, I saw a meme. It was like watching my heroes grow up or growing up watching my heroes in an All Star game, and they were hitting each other. Now kids have to watch their heroes, and he was like dancing, trying to pull a flag off the next guy. It was like, oh my god, how is this
that
entertaining?
is the worst. That was the worst game out of all the sports. The Pro Bowl. I don't know. I mean, I think baseball has the best All Star game just because they actually really compete and try. But the other three don't want to
It's the
get hurt, so
closest
there's no
thing to an
contact.
actual game, yeah, by far.
I
Hmm.
might have to start watching it because I don't watch baseball. But at this point, something. Hey, you you got it. Block him. Good God.
What you got going on out there, Cody?
58-60, Tennessee leads with 4 minutes to go. God
You're a little
bless.
ahead of me. I'm at 4:45 to go, so I guess.
Well, I say 4, but it's like, well, I'm
Okay.
at 4:28.
All right. I'm about
Yeah,
30 seconds
I'm a
behind
little bit ahead of both of you, Cody. You'll be excited here shortly.
you.
Like right there, baby. 3.
So
Who I know Cody's answer to this. Karan, do you got a favorite you got any team you like to win it all on March Madness this year?
Answer carefully.
um, I guess I want to be invited again to do this, so I'm going to have to say Kentucky just for the foreseeable future.
That's what I was going to
I
say.
like it. Team
That's
player.
weird.
Team player.
St.
He said
John's or Kentucky?
he didn't have a favorite college team. He will
St.
go with the flow.
St. John's or Kentucky, I guess. Well, there's no middle ground.
I don't think there's. I mean, I watch a lot of college. I don't think there's a team that really stands out to me this year, as head and shoulders above. We've had a lot of number one teams lose this year already. So
What a wild week last week with Auburn and Duke
yeah.
going down. That's
And
two
wasn't
great
there
games.
another top five team that lost this week? Maybe
Possibly, I
who
haven't
did
seen. I know Bama almost lost to Cal and
Auburn?
Arkansas. Well, Auburn ain't up that much. I mean, they're up, is that 10, 11, 12, 13? Sorry, I had to
Yeah,
do some
yeah.
count.
They're not
Yeah,
going to lose that with less than 3 minutes left.
maybe another one did.
Oh man, I see Corey Dickinson's Michigan team in a very tight one right now. They're up one on Purdue and a top 25 matchup on both sides of the ball. We should have had him
Well,
on here tonight.
how much time's on that one? How much? It was
3 minutes. 3 minutes, 1 point game. Michigan's 20th in the country, Purdue's seventh.
okay. All
It's a good
right.
matchup. It's on the Peacock channel though.
Ooh, that's why it's not
I
showing
hate
up
that.
on
I
here.
hate the friggin' Peacock channel.
They know that we're
Well,
gonna
you get
buy it
your
though, so they
WWE
could put it
network,
on.
huh?
Yeah, they could put it on whatever streaming service they want, and then
I
us
know
sports
that's
fans
my
will buy it.
biggest beef with. I mean, I got stick at everything, but that's my biggest beef with sports anymore is that you got to subscribe to 18 different things if you want to watch a full season of football,
Yep.
and four more things if you want to watch a full season of basketball. I don't know what's going on with baseball with all these regional contracts that have had problems the past couple of years. I'm thankful that my team's not in one of those markets where they either weren't getting games for a while or were having to get MLB to produce their games. I don't even know what all happened with some of
The
that
only thing
stuff,
they do,
but
which is annoying, is the Apple TV game, which is 3 or 4 times a year. I think you get
yep,
the Friday night Apple TV game, which,
yep.
I mean, that's, there's no way around that.
So I'm outside of your market, Karan. Do you not get that on SNY then for those
No,
games? Okay.
that's strictly on Apple TV.
Awesome. That sucks.
It's not a lot. I mean, it's, I think, a couple of games a year, but I know, like, the Yankees, they have a thing with Prime, which is, I think, just the Yankees, but once a week, one of their games is always on Prime. So,
Once a week.
uh,
Wow.
at least I think about once a week, once maybe every 10 days, one of their games on Amazon Prime. And then they also do the Apple TV thing. And so they have a lot more games that are on the streaming sites than the Mets do. But
I'll tell you what, with the Yankees owning the or they're the Yes Network, right? Yeah. So with the Yankees owning that network, that they must be getting a truckload of money to
yeah, they
stream
sell the
on other
package too.
places. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. It's about
They
once a
own their
week.
own
Yeah.
network.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
the
a big
Mets.
thing. The Mets have the
Or
same. Mets
maybe they
have their
do.
own
They have
own
a
one too.
partnership. Yep.
Kentucky's behind times. We need to have our own.
Cody? What do you get? Do you get Kentucky on local TV almost every game or no?
Most of the time. And then, well, unless that it's on SEC Network, then you got to have SEC Network or like
Okay,
ESPN. I don't think that it's on local TV. It could be, but usually I think if it's on ESPN or SEC Network, if you don't have that channel, you don't get to watch it, which makes
okay.
no
I didn't know
sense to
if
me.
like local CBS or ABC would broadcast all the Kentucky games as like the hometown team.
Sometimes they do, but there'll be multiple times in a year like, oh, shit, my subscription ran out, because you ain't been watching it, and then you try to go watch the game, and you're like, good Lord, I got to pay $12.99 to watch this one game. It's horrible. They
That's
they
what it's
know we're
coming
going to pay
to.
it. They know we're going to pay it. And I tell you what, I would think I don't know if y'all saw it in the chat. I don't know who put it in there. It was, I guess, a preview of the bracket. It was like Duke and Kentucky and Loserville, and there was just a bunch of different ones in the chat. And then that's a real bracket that goes down. That would be insane. That would, whoa, is all
I
I
think
could say.
Corey might have been taking a shot on you with that one. He had Michigan going up against Kentucky in the second round in that projected bracket. I think that was probably Joe Lenardi's current like projections that he
I
was
don't know.
throwing a pickup of.
I think that Michigan is most likely not even on Kentucky's radar. I guess I'll go ahead and say, how many games has Michigan won in its entirety? I would think not over 2,000. So when he gets to the 2,000 mark, he can come and holler at a real team like we are, and then we can have a conversation.
I hope that bracket comes true. That would be a fun episode to get you and Corey on if you guys are going head to head.
Oh, that'd be great. And then, say we beat them. Well, not say, when we beat them. And then we meet up in Loserville in another one. Last time we did that, I quit my job as a kid. It was in Final Four. It was the year that we won the championship, and I was working at a movie theater, and they were going to make me work the Final Four matchup against Loserville. And I called my mom. I said, they're trying not to let me watch it. And she said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I'm going to leave. She said, okay, then I'll see you at home. I was already in the car. I was just waiting for her to say, okay. I said, boom, I'm out. And then I watched the game. And
That's awesome.
she wasn't even mad. She was just like, well, I mean, I figured it. It's Kentucky. It's Kentucky basketball. There's a million jobs out there. There's only 1 year you're playing Loserville for a championship.
Hey, my
Well
my
said.
work for 20 plus years has known that I am not coming into work on that Thursday and Friday, the first week of March Madness. They know it
Who's
is
your
an
team?
annual
I don't know, Mike.
holiday.
Who? Oh, you so
UConn,
sorry. UConn. You're right.
UConn,
I
yeah.
apologize.
So, but I mean, well, I was growing up, I was a North Carolina fan. But I went to high school with Richard Hamilton, who went to UConn, won a championship, and when he went there, I started rooting for UConn, and I've been on that wagon ever since.
You went to you
Good
played
So,
solid
dive?
NBA player.
yeah, I went to the same high school as Richard Hamilton.
Whoa.
Used to watch him and Kobe go at it head to head twice a
Nice.
year. It
Yeah,
was
yeah. He was
some
on a
pretty
good
incredible high
Detroit
school
team. Yeah.
basketball.
Yep.
Whoa. That would have
So
been amazing.
it
Wow.
was Cody.
Wow. And, he won a championship with the Pistons. But, with Tayshaun, Kentucky player, probably why he won, but, whatever. Probably not because of the UConn. We'll go with the Kentucky.
Is that officially the dumb shit? I'm not used to hosting this show. We are going to get out of here. We will be back soon. The members group is going to be continuing on with basketball, I believe, here. I don't know if that starts next week, but it will start in the near future. So we'll be talking about both NBA and college a little bit on the members group. I'm looking forward to March Madness myself. Hope to see a lot of you guys on the network there at the March Madness parties. And we'll be back soon. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Karan. It was great to have you on here tonight, and looking forward to talking to you a lot more here going forward.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Go Pats.
I'm literally going to give you the play-by-play on how you would participate in this podcast in less than 15 seconds. Here we go. You download an app. Our content producer, content manager sends you a link. You hit the link. You record, and usually within 30 seconds, unless you have COVID internet, you're done. That's it. You do nothing else. Steve does all the work. He stays up late at night. He does the editing. App, click it, hang up. The end. So,
That's
again,
it.
I understand people don't want to take on any more work than they need to. You're not. So just keep
There
that
is
in
no
mind.
work. This is fun time.
Yes.
Sometimes a little bit of extra
Fun
work,
time.
maybe if you want to be the host. But if
Big
you just
facts.
want to be a team rep, come in here and talk about your team as easily as you talk about it with any one of your friends or rivals.